Hi, welcome back to what's the second of effectively 4 videos I'm planning on doing on the General Journal. And the link to that is suspense accounts. What we're going to look at today are correcting errors that affect the trial balance. What you will do in the 4th video, we'll actually look at something called the suspense account, and it's linked to this, and it's where we've made an error, the trial balance doesn't balance, and therefore we've done something wrong, probably to one side of a journal entry or a posting. So if we look here, we've got 3 examples we're going to look at. The first, just a typical posting error. So in this example, Ragad posted a credit sale to Janet $1,000 correctly in the sales account. So in the sales account, you can see the credit entry has been correctly made for $1,000. But what she's done in Janet's account, she's posted $100, and it should have been $1,000. So we've got to look at how we're actually going to go about correcting this. Well, the first thing we can't do, we're not allowed to rub things out in accounting. It's because we need to have clarity with the account and make sure that we know when errors have been made and we can trace those errors back. So otherwise, people can just rub the figures out and the business would be quite open to fraud being committed. So what do we need to do? Well, what we need to do is we need to put an extra $900 on the debit side of Janet's account. We can't put the credit entry in sales because that's right. So what we use is a strange little account called the suspense account for putting the other entry in for these corrections. So if we look in here in the journal, okay, first entry I'm going to put in is the debit entry, and I'm going to debit Janet's account by $900. So the other account is going to be called suspense. Okay, and we're going to put $900 into Janet's account, and then in the suspense account, I'm going to make a debit entry for, a credit entry for $900. So suspense, Janet is the other account that's affected, and I'm going to put $900 on the credit side there. Okay, what we mustn't forget is to put our commentary in. So the reason for doing this, it's the correction of a misposting in Janet's account. Okay, second entry we've actually found is a partial partial omission. So Emad had correctly input a sale of $3,000 in the cash book, but didn't make an entry in the sales account. So what he's done, he's correctly debited cash. There's nothing in the sales account, and there should have been an entry put in of $3,000 on the credit side. So to correct it, I need to put the debit entry into the suspense account. And the other entry is going to sales, so I need to write sales here. And I'll put 3,000 in. And what I need to do in the cash account, in the sales account, I need to make a credit entry of 3,000. Okay, and again, what I need to make sure I do is I put a commentary in, so it's a correction of a missing entry. Final example we're going to look at, this one's a bit of a strange one. We're going to look at a partial reversal of entry error. And what's happened here is Sabia has correctly credited the customer for discounts allowed, but she's credited the discounts allowed account, and she should have debited the discounts allowed account because that is an expense for the business. So what she's done is that. What she should have done is in red. So how are we going to correct it? Well, the mistake that a lot of students make is they will just put a debit entry into discounts allowed. However, if we just put a debit entry in, what that's going to do, just have a look at it. So suspense, we'll put 500 in. If you look at the accounts now, it actually balances off. So it looks like we haven't actually had any discounts allowed for the month. So what we actually need to do is double the error because it was put on the wrong side. We need to put in one lot of 500 because that first lot of 500 cancels out the 500 we put on the credit side. And then we need to put in another lot of 500. So we've actually got a debit balance of 500 in the account. So the total has got to be 1,000. So we're going to debit discounts allowed by 1,000. And therefore the other entry is going to have to go in the suspense account for 1,000. So that's discounts allowed. Put 1,000 in. Okay, just make it a bit bigger so you can see it. And then again, we need to remember to put our commentary in. Quick recap on the key things from a journal entry. Date, details of the account that you're going to make the entry in. Then got separate columns for debit and credit entries in the journal. Okay, we normally put the debit entries in first when we write up a journal entry, and then the credit entries in second. And there also needs to be a commentary. As you would expect, I've done some questions for you guys to have a go at. Okay, it shouldn't take particularly long. There should be 3 questions in there. There are 3 questions in there. What you need to do is you'll need to fill out the suspense account as you're going along and write up the journal entries to correct the 3 errors. Okay, hope we all got it, and don't forget to send the answers back to me. Thank you very much.